The unburied of Stalingrad, Stalingrad. The very name sent chills down the spine of every Wehrmacht soldier. The battle had turned into a bloody siege, with both sides entrenched in a brutal fight for every inch. As a German infantryman, I'd seen countless horrors, but nothing could prepare me for that fateful night in the bowels of the city. It was winter, and the relentless cold was as much an enemy as the Russians. We'd been ordered to scout a section of the city for supplies, particularly warm clothing and food. While the upper levels of Stalingrad were a well-known battlefield, the basements and tunnels beneath the ruined buildings held mysteries of their own. My squad descended into a seemingly untouched basement. Dim light from above revealed shelves of canned goods, stacks of wood, and most importantly, crates filled with warm clothing. But our discovery came with a feeling of unease, a stillness that seemed unnatural. Suddenly, a faint noise echoed through the tunnels, a mix of growls and shuffling. Fearing a Russian ambush, we took defensive positions. However, what emerged from the shadows was not the enemy we expected. Men, or what used to be men, stumbled towards us. Their tattered Red Army uniforms hung from their gaunt frames, and their eyes, devoid of life, glowed with a malevolent hunger. Their flesh was in varying stages of decay, hinting that they had been in this state for quite some time. Caught off guard, we opened fire, but bullets seemed to have little effect. Private Miller was the first to fall, a creature lunging at him and biting deep into his neck. His screams echoed through the tunnels, sending panic through our ranks. I recalled tales from the Eastern Front of places where the dead refused to lie still, cursed lands where ancient rituals had once been practiced. Was this the result of some forgotten magic, or simply the horrors of war manifesting in a new form? With retreat the only option, we ran. The winding tunnels became a maze, with every turn presenting more of these undead monstrosities. The cold, which had once been our enemy, now seemed to be our only ally. The creatures moved slower in the freezing temperatures. Finding a partially collapsed section, we decided to set a trap. Using grenades, we rigged a narrow passageway to collapse further. As the creatures approached, we detonated our explosives, burying many of them under tons of rubble. This gave us a moment of respite, a chance to navigate our way out of the underground nightmare. Emerging into the cold night, Stalingrad's ruins loomed around us. Our numbers had dwindled. Only a handful of us had made it out. We quickly made our way back to our lines, eager to report our findings. However, our superiors were skeptical. They dismissed our accounts as stress-induced hallucinations or propaganda concocted by the Russians to break our spirits. Our pleas to avoid the tunnels were ignored, with further expeditions being planned. As days turned into weeks, more squads reported similar encounters. The underground of Stalingrad became a no-man's land, with both sides fearing what lurked below. Whispers among the ranks spoke of the city being cursed, its very soil tainted by the blood and suffering. In the chaos of war, the undead became just another enemy, one more horror in a city filled with them. As the siege continued and winter deepened, the line between the living and the dead became ever more blurred. The battle for Stalingrad eventually ended, but the tales of its undead lingered. Some said they were the spirits of soldiers, unable to rest due to the horrors they'd witnessed. Others believed they were a creation of dark magic, a last-ditch effort by a desperate army. I survived the war, but the memories of that night haunted me. The undead of Stalingrad became a grim reminder that in war, death is not always the end. In some cases, it's just the beginning.